Chopping it up with Ramel. Chopping it up with Ramel. Chopping it up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat. Chopping it up with Ramel. Chopping it up with Ramel. Chopping it up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat. Chopping it up with Ramel.
Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Thursday to all. Hey, once again, thanks for tuning in. You guys can follow me on YouTube. Just search in Troy, Ramel, R-A-M-E-L, Royal. And you'll see Chopping It Up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat. Please go ahead and check out the videos. Make your comments. Like them. I need the views. I need the views. Hey, listen, happy Thursday. The good thing about today is that we get closer to the weekend and we get closer to the playoff games that are on hand. And it should be a good one. Listen, I've been talking with a lot of people on the job, and the biggest topic about the NFL, outside of the games itself, is the MVP race. Listen, guys, we talked about it, and I'm down here in the dirty South, so I have to deal with a lot of Atlanta Falcons fans, and they make a compelling argument that Matt Ryan, the return of Matty Ice, should be MVP. He's thrown for like 4,900 yards. He's only thrown 7 interceptions. He's got like 38 touchdowns or something to that sort. He's thrown to about maybe 10 to 13 different receivers, whatever the case might be. They make a compelling argument that he should be MVP. And you know, quite frankly, I think he should be second in the race. I do think he's had an outstanding season, and he should be considered MVP. No doubt in my mind. I don't think that Brady should get it because he didn't do it all year long. And not only that, Belichick continues to show that he's the MVP of New England simply because of his next man up, his preparation for his team. He's always got the next man ready to play. You know, we can go back to the year where Brady missed the whole season. Matt Castle goes 11-5. Most years, 11-5 gets you into the playoffs. That particular year it did not. But still, Matt Castle, who had never started a game in 8 years, all of a sudden, and 8 years going back to high school, that was, he leads the team to 11-5. In the absence of Brady for 4 games, this team goes 3-1 with 2 different quarterbacks. So I believe Belichick proves that he's the MVP because of his preparation and his next man up mentality. Look, Gronkowski, by far, their best set of hands out there. He goes down for 6-7 games and they don't skip a beat. The next man up. That mentality is strong over there. And that system is strong. So, with that said, I don't see Brady. I think Aaron Rodgers is probably going to win the award. That's not my vote, guys. I don't think he deserves it more than Brady. I don't think he deserves it more than Matt Ryan. I think that he is the darling of the league, or the poster child of the league. Yeah, this run is on is magnificent, but you know what? He didn't do it from day one. He did not do it from day one. And so but I can see them giving it to him because they think that he's like the greatest quarterback in NFL history. You know, and I just don't see it because week 5 we was talking about firing a coach, and then he makes a statement: "We will never lose another game," and he's backed it up. But what about the first 5 weeks of the season? But that only leaves me with one other person. Yeah, Derek Carr. He's definitely a strong candidate. You can see his value now. They haven't won a game since he's been out. And now they're out of the playoffs. And this is a team that looked like they could have been Super Bowlish, if that's such a term. But here's a team for you guys. Here's a player for you. I don't care what anybody says. And I will stand by this. And I know he's not going to win the MVP award. But Dak Prescott deserves the award. He's just, and on this basis alone, I don't care that he's a rookie. I don't care that he's behind the best offensive line in the game. Let's talk about the offensive line. Last year, McFadden ran for 1,000 yards with the same offensive line. So Elliott running for 1,500 yards really is no different. You had a 1,000-yard rush. But last year, with the assorted quarterbacks that they had, this team was 4-12. You put a rookie behind there, a fourth-round pick, and he does a 9-game swing. He takes this team from 4-12 to 13-3 to home field advantage in the playoffs in the NFC. Who saw this coming? Who saw this coming? And quite frankly, the record doesn't indicate how well this team played. They should have won game 1, and game 16 was a gimme game. They didn't even play. So this team should have been 14-2, possibly 15-1. Incredible when you think about that. Now let's look at his numbers. He threw for over 3,600 yards. He threw 25 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. This is a rookie. Only 4 interceptions. And what, he ran in 5 or 6 touchdowns? And did this all with the pressure of Romo behind one shoulder, Jerry Jones behind the other, and then Des Bryant in front of him begging for the ball? Throw me the ball, throw me the ball, throw me the ball. It's no doubt in my mind this guy should be MVP. No doubt in my mind he should be MVP. No doubt. But he's not going to win the award. That's too much to give to a rookie. Give to a rookie. But at the same time, look at the position they're in. And I still got them going to the Super Bowl. I don't care how hot Aaron Rodgers is. I think that train gets derailed this weekend. Because the way to beat a guy like Aaron Rodgers is mistake-free football, time of possession. This has got to be Elliott's game. This has got to be Elliott's game. Feed him, keep that offense off the field, and that's it. That's how you beat them. So I'm going with Dallas over Green Bay. I'm going with New England over Houston. Going with Pittsburgh over Kansas City. Up until yesterday, I had Atlanta over Seattle. But after speaking with Atlanta fans, I'm going with Seattle to go into the Georgia Dome and upset Atlanta. That's right. They're going to go in there and upset Atlanta. I'm going with Seattle. I'm going with Seattle to upset Atlanta in the Georgia Dome. That's right. Because of the fans. Because of the fans. When I talk to the fans about what do you think of the game? Oh, they're going to smash them in the mouth. I said, what makes you say that? You lost to them earlier. Oh, wait, the refs did this and the refs did that. We're going to just smash them in the mouth. Okay. Just because of that attitude, I'm looking for the upset now. Because I'm looking for a story on Monday morning when I get to work and I can talk to these Falcon fans. That's right. I'm looking for a story. And that story is going to be that Russell Wilson went in the Georgia Dome and took it over. In the final game of the Georgia Dome under the Atlanta Falcons, Matt Ryan and them, Mighty Ice melted. And Russell Wilson took over, became the new landlord. That's what I'm going with. Moving along to the NBA. It's a lot to report. Where do I begin? Well, let's start with this. Russell Westbrook, not to be confused with Russell Wilson, but Russell Westbrook went up against Michael Conley. And what a battle it was. I mean, Michael Conley held his own. Of course, Russell Westbrook not only secured the win, but he also secured another triple-double as he was outstanding. He was 24 points. I believe it was something like 13 rebounds, 12 assists. But he was outstanding. When I say outstanding, just simply outstanding. This guy here is clearly MVP. I know James Harden is having a sensational season, but this guy, Russell Westbrook, he can't do no wrong. So he leads his team to a home victory over Mike Conley and quite frankly, the Grizzlies is playing well, playing very well. In fact, they're ahead of OKC in the standings. But again, Westbrook triple-double leads OKC over Memphis. Speaking of MVP, the closest competitor for MVP in James Harden, believe it or not, they went on the road and got knocked off by Minnesota. It's very interesting. Big Karl Anthony Towns, he had a double-double. I believe he had something like 20, maybe 24 points, 23 points, 18 rebounds, something to that effect. This is a kid that's just getting better right before our eyes. Getting better right before our eyes. You know, another MVP candidate who's emerging. You know, I don't know if he's getting the credit or not. But you heard me say it on this show. Pound for pound in the NBA, Isaiah Thomas is the best player in the game, pound for pound. Another performance last night, MVP-type performance. He had over 35 points last night. He did mix it up with some assists as they secured home court against a hot team, a rising team, I should say, Washington Wizards. What a game, what a game, what a game. All right, the Clippers, they hold off the Magics, and Cleveland loses 2 in a row on the road. They lost to Utah the other night, and then they ran into a hot C.J. McCollum and Portland home court as they knocked off the defending champions, Cleveland, on the road. So there was a lot of games. But the game I want to talk about, and I'm going to describe it in 2 words, and that's the New York Knicks. I'm done. I'm done. I am done. I don't know what's wrong with these guys. I could tell you that it's this person, that person. I could tell you that it's the coach. I could tell you it's Phil. I could tell you it's the players. I could say this, I could say that. At the end of the day, they are not getting it done. And it's looking uglier and uglier and uglier and uglier. The 2 words that I have for the New York Knicks are, I'm done. Yes, I'm done. I'm done. What we're watching, it's one thing to lose a game, as long as the effort is there. It's one thing to lose a game that you couldn't win. It's one thing to lose a game that you've been trailing all along. But sometimes it happens. It doesn't matter who you're playing. You can get out the gate slow and never really catch up. By the time you get your rhythm, the game is over. I understand it. It happens. It happens to the best. Doesn't mean that you're a bad team or whatever the case is. But when you're playing a Philadelphia 76ers, by the way, whose future is looking brighter and brighter, but when you're playing the Philadelphia 76ers, whether it's home or away, and you have a 17-point lead, you have to find a way to secure that game. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. You have to find a way to secure that game. All right? Next. Okay, so you squandered a 17-point game. You squandered a 17-point lead. Okay. It's 2 minutes and 29 seconds left in the game, 4th quarter. You're up 10 to Philadelphia 76. How do you lose this game? How do you lose this game? Well, I give you an idea, and this is what I'm blaming Jeff for. I'm watching the game, and it's into the closing minutes, last 3 minutes. I'm screaming at the set to bring in Porzingis. Lance Thomas is on the court. He hasn't scored a point all game. He hasn't really stopped anybody all game. He's been known for his hustle and his defense. Didn't show yesterday at all. I'm screaming Put in Porzingis. The Knicks is in one of those lulls where they can't score. And I don't know if it's fatigue or Philly is just clamping down on defense. But by the way, it was only 2 players scoring. Carmelo, he finished with 28. Derrick Rose finished with 25. Maybe only 4 other people scored. But I'm screaming, put in Porzingis. Put in Porzingis. Put in Porzingis. Put in Porzingis. Now, I didn't realize Porzingis only had 7 points. But I noticed he didn't have a big game. But I didn't realize he only had 7 points. But I'm saying, put him in there. Lance Thomas is giving you nothing on both ends of the court. Put in Porzingis. He doesn't put in Porzingis. He doesn't. Until the final 25 seconds of the game. Porzingis comes in. Sweat is dried off his back. He comes in. He's a shell of himself. The shortest 3-point shot. One I never seen him take. He's in the corner. He shoots an air ball. Philly comes down, no timeout, just runs back. The ball looks like a hot potato. Nobody wants to shoot it. Finally, T.J. McConnell decides to do some kind of turnaround, throw up that, for whatever reason, Melo didn't put a hand up on. And it goes in. And we watch Philly celebrate as New York loses another tough one and walks off. It should have never came down to that. Jeff, you have to know your personnel. I'm not saying that if you'd have put KP in any earlier, it would have been different. But I know this. You would have had a better opportunity. Lance Thomas wasn't giving you anything on both ends of the court. You bring in a KP, he's cold, he shoots an air ball. For all you Porzingis fans out there and Knicks fans that think it's time for Melo to defer to this guy, time after time after time after time, Porzingis has failed on big moments. He is not ready for the big stage. Is it that he's simply not ready, or is it that they don't feed him for that position, to be in that position? It could be a little bit of both, but at the end of the day, he's come up short. He has not delivered when needed a clutch shot. Has not. I can't remember one. Maybe he's had one, but I can't remember it. And at least not this year. Whether it was in Phoenix, this one, it was another game. In this one, all he had to do was hit the rim. All he had to do was hit the rim. He shot an air ball. It hit the net. Hit the net. And he was wide open. But he hadn't played since about the 8-minute mark. He was cold. He was cold. Sweat off his back. What do you expect him to do? That was a bad substitution. At that point there, maybe you shouldn't even have brought him in the game. He should have been in there early. Should have been in there. The minute they cut it to like 6, 7 points, you should have brought him in there. Again, Lance Thomas was doing nothing. Nothing. Jeff, this one is on you. Sure, it's on the players as well. You don't squander a 17-point lead. You don't squander a 10-point lead with 2 minutes and 29 seconds to go. Not against Philadelphia. Not against Philadelphia. This is the season right here. There's no recovering from this. It's not. You're now 5 games under 500. You have no momentum. The culture is slacking. Players is not believing in one another. D. Rose pulls on an AWOL and then turns around and says he's seeking a max contract. It's horrible. Kyle O'Quinn had a great game. Noah, he did his best. He's just offensively challenged at this point. He blew some layups, and I'm like, what the what? It's just horrible. Just horrible. Horrific. Again, I'm done. This is horrible. Well, that's going to do it for Chopping It Up with Ramel. I'll see you guys in 24. Remember, peace and blessings. Have a great day.